Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexandra Anele. If you are new, you can call me Alex because that is way too long. Today we are going to be comparing the L'Oreal True Match foundation with the new Maybelline Dream Cover foundations. This guy is new. Obviously, L'Oreal True Match has been out for a while. They did come out with some new shades. I was trying to find foundations that were going to be relatively similar. So we're going to just jump right into the video. I'm going to read you a little bit about these to begin with, like what their claims are. The L'Oreal True Match has 45 shades, which is pretty fucking extensive. They've got various undertones and all of that. It is described as a super hydrating formula that provides medium coverage with a natural finish that is blendable. So it says True Match goes beyond matching skin tone to matching skin's undertone, light to dark, and warm, neutral, and cool undertones for true to skin result. It also contains vitamin B5 and vitamin E, blah blah blah, radiant and healthy, oil-free, fragrance-free, won't clog pores. So that's this guy right here. So natural finish and medium coverage. Oh, and it is SPF 17. Now the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover has SPF 50, which is pretty crazy, awesome for summer. This is a lightweight foundation. It's described as Maybelline's first protective foundation makeup, and it's meant to shield the skin from environmental aggressors. Leaves a natural looking finish. So this only has 16 shades, which seems minimal. They do have some deep shades, but I would say the majority of them are fair to light to medium. So that's the downside there. And this is meant to be a full coverage foundation. That's what it says right on the front. So they're both supposed to be good for your skin, protect your skin from the sun, and have a natural looking finish. This is full coverage, and the L'Oreal is slightly more medium coverage but buildable. So we'll see how this goes. I do already have color corrector underneath my eyes, and I didn't prime my face. I just got out of the shower a little while ago, so I'm well hydrated, nice and moisturized. So I think we're gonna go in with the L'Oreal True Match to begin with. I am going to be mixing two shades, I think. Wait, should I? I feel like that's a little dark, but maybe we'll just go for this one. This shade right here is Vanilla W2.5. I'm going to be applying this with a makeup sponge because that's how I apply. On both of the websites they said either you can use sponge, fingertips, or brush for both foundations. So obviously for L'Oreal you kind of have to just like rely on dumping it out, which I don't love. Woo! Because I feel like it can come out really, really fast. All right, so I dumped that all over the back of my hand. I'm gonna be picking that up with my, I think this is the Huda Beauty sponge. Probably zoom you guys in so you can see. I'm gonna be doing L'Oreal on this side of my face. I just got a new lens and I'm really not happy with it. Is that like way too yellow? My skin's been going through it, so we'll be able to like really see how this coverage is. I guess that color's okay. It's a little bit yellowy, but you know, like we can deal with it. I'm pretty yellow to begin with. That's actually pretty nice coverage for medium coverage. I would say it is, you know, medium coverage. You can see all these breakouts on my forehead still, but I mean like it did soften them quite a bit. It applied really beautifully. I feel like I've probably been cutting this out through talking, but there's a bunch of dudes out there working. It doesn't matter where I live. This is always happening, and it's about to drive me insane. It does look very like natural, like my skin, which is really nice. I feel like I won't know until I get out into like normal daylight. Honestly, I've used this foundation, but I haven't in a really long time. So I do feel like I wasted so much product just like having to dump that out though, you know? Now for the Dream Cover, I have two colors that I'm going to have to mix because this one's a little too light and this one is a little bit too dark. And they didn't have a nice one with my undertone in between. We are going to be, did I already say? Mixing 110 and 220. And it has a nozzle, which is nice, so you can like, I feel like you can control a little bit more how much comes out. Once again, I'm gonna put this on the back of my hand. Probably gonna use too much because I need to mix them. I'm gonna put like a tiny bit of two whatever. But it says it's supposed to be full coverage. It does feel very liquidy when I mix it. I can definitely smell the sunscreen. The undertone is definitely way more neutral than L'Oreal, and it almost looks more dewy. They're kind of like straddling like slightly more matte and slightly more dewy. And as far as coverage, I went in with a little bit less of the Maybelline because it was full coverage, and I feel like what I put down was pretty similar for both foundations, so I think it is pretty full coverage for a more liquidy foundation, which is interesting. All right, let's see how it reacts with all my other products. So I'm gonna go in with my concealer, which is Tarte Shape Tape. I'm using Light Sand. I gotta get all up in here. All right, so my concealer blended in nicely to both shades in my opinion. This side continues to look a little bit more dewy, whereas this side I feel like has gotten a little bit more matte. I can't really tell. I don't know if you guys can see the like crazy creasing that's happening in my forehead right now. I have some intense forehead wrinkles. I think it's worse though on the L'Oreal side, but it could possibly be because my wrinkles are worse on that side. I think what I'm going to do is just build up coverage in some of those areas when using each foundation, just to kind of see what we can build up. Like I'm getting it all up in my hairline. Just trying to decide like which tone I like better. There's something about the Maybelline foundation that's more enjoyable to put on my skin. I don't know why. It feels nicer. It almost feels like I'm applying a lotion. And after the second pass, this side still looks more dewy to me. I almost like the tone better on that side as well. This is looking like slightly too yellow for me. Both sides look, as far as coverage goes, look pretty similar to me. Maybe it's because it's slightly more dewy, it makes my skin look a little healthier. Whereas on this side, because it's mattifying a little bit, it might also have something to do with the tone of it. Looks a little like, there isn't a huge difference, but I'm not loving this side of my face. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my cream contour using the KKW Beauty contour sticks. All right, so I had a pretty easy time blending all of my cream products into both foundations. I will say that the L'Oreal True Match side definitely set a little bit more, and I could feel it pulling a little bit more when I was going in with my brush, and it kind of removed a little bit of coverage. It was a little easier to kind of like glide over the skin on this side. But I would say, as of right now, those are the only differences between the two sides. So, and I actually think the colors are like kind of close. I don't know how it looks to you on camera. Like once I started going in with my concealer and like my bronzers and stuff, it sort of evened out. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and then I will be back to check in with you. Let's see, what time is it? So I'm actually finishing this part up at noon. I'm gonna be checking in with you periodically throughout the day, so I'll be right back. Whew. All right, what time is it? So I finished filming another video, did my makeup, I put on some powder and stuff, and just, you know, whatever, highlight all that shit. I tried to keep the powder only in the center of my face, so like where I typically would set underneath my eyes, like right here. Looks pretty good. What time is it? It is, so when did I check in with you last? Noon? I can't even remember. It is now almost 2 o'clock, it's 1:40. I'm gonna zoom you in a little more. I'm gonna try to get like all up in here. So what do you see? What do you know? We're looking pretty good, I think. I do have some creases in my forehead. I feel like that's kind of typical though. From talking, I have a little bit of creasing here. That's also pretty typical. I don't know. There's like some pretty intense creasing, but I move my forehead a lot. Pretty animated, so I feel like I always get that no matter what. It's a little more intense today. But other than that, I think the finishes look nice. They've stayed pretty consistent within the last couple of hours. This is still a little bit more on the matte side, but it does look natural. Same with this side. It's like ever so slightly more dewy. I feel like the finish of both of them is just so damn similar. Oh, there's that fucking nose in my hair. I'm having a day, all right? I'm gonna go chill, probably eat some lunch, because I am starving right now and I've got salmon in the fridge, and I will check back in with you. And then here we are in some indirect sunlight. If that makes any kind of a difference at all. I think it looks pretty. It looks nice. I'm preferring the Maybelline side. The L'Oreal side actually a little bit has rubbed off down here just from like touching it. I was touching my face over here. The Maybelline side actually seems to have been standing up a little better. You can see those creases in my forehead, but they really do look like equal on both sides. I think my wrinkles are just like more intense here, and I'm constantly doing that. Okay, so contacts had to come out because it's been way too long. I just can't wear them that long. So it is around 9. When was the last time I checked in? Like 4 or something? I'll remove the glasses now so you guys can see, but now I will be blind. I'm impressed by how both foundations have held up after all this time. So how long has it been though? It's been like, I think I put it on around noon or 1, so it's been almost like, it's been like 8 or 9 hours, which I think is a sufficient wear test. So here's what I've noticed. The Maybelline side has stayed consistent pretty much the entire day. When we started the True Match on more of the matte side, but it seems like it's gotten even more oily in my T-zone than the Maybelline side, which was more dewy when we started. So That's interesting. This side has definitely stayed the most consistent. And when I was looking at it in the mirror a little earlier, I think overall I like the undertone of this one a little bit more. And we also have the benefit of the Maybelline containing SPF 50, which obviously summer, you know. True Match is only SPF 17. I feel like that's a weird number, 17. Why? Overall, if you had to pick one, I would definitely go for the Maybelline. The only downside to this is the shade range. It's only 16 shades, so that's like very limited. I'm hoping that it's just a test and they're seeing like how popular this foundation is going to be, and then if it all goes well, then maybe they'll add to the shade range. This is going to be probably my go-to foundation. I might just use a mattifying primer in my T-zone next time, which I did not do today. Alright guys, so that is it for this review. If you guys want to see more Maybelline versus L'Oreal, I could do like lip products, eyeshadow, anything. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. And let me know if you want me to throw Revlon in the mix too, because I feel like as far as like drugstore foundations, those ones, L'Oreal, Maybelline, Revlon, they're all kind of like in the same tier. Unfortunately, I don't have a third side to my face. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, anyway, so if you have tried the Maybelline Urban Cover, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.